Now, before our future presentation, a word from our sponsor. Do you find yourself hating your writing? Do you find yourself just wanting to give up? Stop! There is hope. There is English 117. English 117 will improve your writing throughout the year, making you a better and stronger writer. Do not take English 117 if you have high blood pressure or a strong case of procrastination. The side effects of English 117 are mental breakdowns, anger, frustration, crying, migraines, family feuds, stress, breaking out, ruined social life, annoyed parents and family members, and lack of sleep. People taking honors biology may have increased risks of these symptoms. Talk to your guidance counselor today to see if English 117 is right for you. One day you could be proud of your writing. Bad writing stinks, and English 117 can help. First quarter, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. First quarter was a practice quarter. I procrastinated everything till like the night before. I wrote a paper on loss. It was just me venting. It was a paper of me venting and ranting. Then I wrote a paper about YouTube, explaining YouTube. I guess this was my informational of the first quarter. I'm not really sure. In my first quarter, I wrote a paper called The Walks, which is I'm probably the most proud of this paper just because I thought it was like a really descriptive paper, so I kind of liked it, and also it was more like creative for me. I kind of like those essays better, so that was good. I don't know what I was doing the first quarter. I honestly don't know. The deficiencies I had for first quarter was a word choice, which now I'm looking back, vocab.com helped me so much. You can definitely tell I'm using better words. If the words are the same, even if I don't know of one, I'll just look it up on synonyms.com. I have for first quarter, and efficiency would be the content, and I don't know why I put this as an efficiency, considering it's kind of like, depending on the paper for quarter one, an efficiency or a deficiency. From looking back from just quarter 4 to quarter 1, there's so much difference. You can just tell I myself wasn't necessarily putting in that effort in the beginning of the year. Feeling the whole honors English thing, that's honestly how it was. It totally showed when I actually tried in the third and especially fourth quarter. So basically, first quarter was a mess. It did not go well. My essays were really poorly written. Half the reason because I was procrastinating them all to the end and just had to get them done. In quarter 2, I really didn't see that much improvement from quarter 1. It was the same procrastinating, same everything. For deficiencies to efficiencies for that quarter, I had my hooks weren't interesting, my theses weren't good. Here in my paper reflection for the end of quarter 2 about my deficiencies to efficiencies, I say another deficiency is my hook. They don't seem to be interesting enough. And then I want to make the reader shocked or surprised, making them want to read the rest of my writing, which I lacked a lot in quarter 1 and 2, and eventually did get stronger to do that. Now looking back, I feel like I did get stronger with a lot of my hooks, especially in the more boring papers. When you are given the freedom to, you just have to write a certain amount of essays, it doesn't have to be on a certain topic. That's a good thing, because if you pick essays that you're interested in, then you're more likely to put more effort, to have better hooks and thesis statements. If you're not interested in your topic, your hook will be boring, your hook will be lacking. Another deficiency of quarter 2 was using pronouns too much, giving my opinion too much. Depending on the paper, it was okay, but sometimes I would unnecessarily use it, so I had to go back. And that's especially what I did when I did my rewrites for quarter 3 and 4. I went back and changed a lot of that stuff because it was just unnecessary. My efficiencies for the second quarter were my MLA format, which got a lot better. That was also an efficiency for my fourth quarter. The third quarter was definitely an improvement quarter. It was the first quarter where I definitely saw improvement from the first and second. Third quarter, I wrote a couple essays that were good and a couple that were bad. Like, you could definitely tell which my strong ones were and which ones my weak ones were. Third quarter, we wrote Shawshank Redemption. I was very, like, more facts, no analytical, no analysis, no looking at the characters, reading in between the lines, none of that stuff. I was more just, like, basically summarizing the movie and then giving a couple of opinions here and there. I guess I'll read my rewrite from Shawshank Redemption. Although hope is a powerful thing, sometimes it doesn't keep the weak strong. Unfortunately, it didn't help Brooks. He hung himself after getting out of jail. He meant less in the real world than in prison. In Shawshank, he was someone to look up to, someone who was successful there. In the newly springing world, though, he was nobody. He blames his arthritis in his fingers when he could not do his bagging job at the grocery store. He convinces himself that though he's old and will die soon, and decides that it's better just to kill himself now to stop the suffering. He had lost all hope. He was in the real world all alone, with no friends, no family, and no purpose to live. Brooks realized that he was worth more in prison than in the real world. Brooks gave up on the fact that he could get into prison shortly after he got out, which even more knocked down his imagination for what could be. All I can say is that I'm just summarizing like crazy. Fourth quarter was by far the best quarter for me. I definitely improved in all my writing. I feel like all my pieces were really strong. One of my favorite papers that I wrote this quarter was called What Defines You? And it was inspired by this video that this YouTuber made. And it just made me like think about my future and all that good stuff. And what I want to do after school and college and all that stuff, and what really matters in life and what's the most important to you. And so I basically wrote an essay about that, and that really gave some like clarity to me. So that was like a perk of that essay. So this is a part of that essay I'm going to read. The girl's name is Katie, so I'm referring to her, not me. In this video, Katie mentions the struggles of teenagers and how they have one of the hardest jobs. She refers to Humpty Dumpty and how he eventually cracks. I'm Humpty Dumpty balancing on a wall, and I don't know when I'll fall and shatter, ... We can all relate to this. We all at one point in our lives, especially in high school, are Humpty Dumpty. There are many moments in life that are confusing me and worry me. I, like many, are unsure of my future. The research paper that I wrote for this quarter, for fourth quarter, was about fashion through the ages, and this was like really an interesting topic for me because I'm a girl and I like fashion, and so it was just like a really fun paper to research, and I also like didn't know some of the trends and like facts about this stuff. I think I did a good job transitioning, which was one of my deficiencies to efficiencies for this quarter. And then the other thing that I did, which was good like sentence structure, like not repeating this essay, for example, being like 1990s, 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 in the 1990s, like repetitiveness, like switching up my sentences a little bit. I did really good for this quarter, I think.
Funny like how much stuff when you look back like a couple weeks later, like maybe like a month or two later, how much stuff has changed in your writing. Like how much you see, like what was I thinking writing that, what was I saying here, like how did I think that made sense. Like all this stuff that I'm going back and reading stuff from first quarter, I don't know how I thought that was good. So I honestly don't understand. The only hope for English 117 is time. That's the only thing, it's the only thing getting you through. There's nothing else but the fact that the end of the year will eventually come. No matter how hard I thought it was in the beginning of the year, I cannot believe that like there's 3 weeks left of school and that English 117, I survived it. That was what my parents told me right in the beginning, is they're like, you know how many kids have gone through this class, how many kids have passed this class. I just could not get the fact straight that I would be one of those kids eventually, till you finally get to May and June and you're like, how did this happen? How have I already wrote like, what is it, 20-something essays? You're like, look how much that paid off. So